And we are live here in Clarksburg, West Virginia, where the South Harrison Hawks have traveled to take on the Liberty Mountaineers. Sorry for the delay in getting on the air this evening. We had a minor issue that we have since resolved. Liberty started with the football, drove down the field, had a nice defensive stop by the Hawks. The Hawks took over on downs, and after that, it was an interception thrown by Jaron Robinson. And, Danny, that brings us to where we are right now, 2nd down and 5, Liberty on the South Harrison 40-yard line.
Liberty moved the ball pretty well that first drive. They had 2 first downs, but then got a 4th and 2 and were not able to get it.
At quarterback is number 10, Noah Leggett, for the Mountaineers. Carrying for Liberty is number 34, Seth McIntyre. He's a name that everyone in the area is well aware of. A good returning player for the Mountaineers. He runs the football, gains a couple on the play, brings up 3rd down and 2. Out of the I formation, Leggett is under center. Snap comes back, hands it off to McIntyre. He's got a 1st down over the 30 near the 25, and it will be a Mountaineer 1st down.
This is a straight running play off to the right to McIntyre, big hole. He was able to get down the field. You could tell he's a tough runner, hard to bring down. And what I've seen here early on, Tom, is they've been able to get yards, 3 or 4 yards at a clip, but the holes are there. They're getting a really good push. I mean, it has me concerned because I see the potential for some bigger runs. That was the biggest run they've had so far.
1st and 10 from the South Harrison 26. Handoff out. This time, running the football for the Mountaineers is number 24, Savion Biafor. And he gains about 5. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 as the Mountaineers are moving.
The interception by Robinson happened really right about midfield. It was 3rd and 16 after an illegal procedure penalty. He just overthrew it. The Liberty player had the interception and a decent return, so it really set Liberty up nice for this drive.
Snap comes back to Leggett. Again, a handoff to Biafor. He gets down inside the 20-yard line, down to the 19. A gain of about 2, maybe 3. It's going to bring up 4th and, well, he didn't gain as much as I thought he did. He only got to the 20, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
It's just so interesting to watch this just early on. Something that stands out to me, we'll come back to it after this play because they're getting ready to snap it.
Correction, it's 3rd down and 4. I formation, Leggett with the toss back to number 23, Dwayne Buchanan. Looks like he gets near the 1st down marker.
Toss sweep to the left that time. South Harrison did a pretty good job of stringing it out, but really the running back for the Mountaineers did a nice job to make a couple moves. Really, he got that 1st down on his own.
Under 4 minutes to go here in the quarter. It is scoreless, but the Mountaineers are driving, and the umbrellas are coming out here at Mountaineer Field. Hand off to McIntyre, just straight up the middle, strong runner. He's down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be another 1st down for the Mountaineers. Looks like he's down around the 4.
They're in a stick eye. They have McIntyre up as the fullback, the up back. Just turn around and hand it to him real quick. Just a quick handoff straight up the middle, well blocked, and he's just a load to bring down. They weren't able to get him. This offensive line for Liberty's done a nice job early on.
Hand off again to McIntyre. He's brought down, wrapped up by number 75, Trey Waller, near the goal line. He'll be just short. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. And they go back to McIntyre. Why wouldn't you? Touchdown, Liberty.
That time they had him lined up as the middle back of the three, gave him a little bit more time to get the hole opened up. It was there. He was able to basically cruise right into the end zone for the touchdown.
On to attempt the extra point will be number 8, Eli Norman. Correction, he is on the hold. I don't see the number of the kicker. Looks like number 80, Mason Conrad. And the extra point attempt is good. The score here with 2:43 to go in the first quarter, Liberty 7, South Harrison nothing. Oh, well, we had a little shaky start.
Yeah.
And
sometimes that happens.
It does happen, and technology sometimes, it doesn't always want to cooperate. With that being said, some really good storylines here tonight. It's a, in-county contest. It's an opportunity for two teams that are relatively close together to be able to step in and play a game against each other. And, man, it is hammering the rain down. If it's any consolation, looks like it's not going to last long.
I don't think it is, but it is. It's pouring it down right now.
It's enough to get everyone wet and miserable.
They're very wet, and we're dry.
We are. We are.
I'm not bothered by the rain at all. No, but what the thought I started to give earlier, just from a historical standpoint, it's just interesting tonight. You got Liberty coming out in a stack eye and just running the football, pounding it. South Harrison had the football, and they had 4 wide receivers. They're in the shotgun. Typically in the past, it was opposite. South Harrison's more known for that power football, and Liberty was more trying to spread it out, but it's on the opposite tonight.
Tanner Moore lines up and kicks it away for the Mountaineers into the hands of Landon McFadden over the 20 to the 25. He's up across the 30, back to the middle of the field, takes a hit around the 35, gets up to about the 37-yard line, and he's going to be brought down. And that's where the Hawks will start the drive. Nice return there by McFadden.
Very nice return. I was really surprised that Liberty kicked it to him. Typically, teams have scouted well enough to know not to kick it to him, but they did, and pretty good return, good field position.
All right, let's see what the Hawks can generate here on the offensive end. Starting this drive at their own 37-yard line in the I formation, Jared Robinson is under center. Snap comes back. It's a fumble. Robinson fighting for the football. I'm not sure who has it. Looks like he's going to maintain possession. It'll be a loss of about 3. And definitely not the way you want to start the drive, down 7-0.
No, definitely not. A pretty good return. You got decent field position. You fumble the snap. Don't even really have a chance to execute a play. You don't like to get behind the chains.
2nd down and 2. Rain letting up a little bit here. I formation. Snap back to Robinson. He handles it. Hands it off to McFadden. McFadden trying to find a hole. Maybe gains a yard. Doesn't appear as he got back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Again, just a straight run up the middle for McFadden.
Just a couple quick plays there, not getting anything. We're right back to where we were on the first drive in 3rd and long. Unfortunately, last time it ended up in an interception. Hopefully this time it could be a better result.
3rd down and almost 12. Out of shotgun, 3 receivers, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Snap comes back to Robinson. Robinson's going to roll out of the pocket to his right. Throws it up the field. He has a man. And it's going to be batted down by, looks like number 20, and I do not have his correction. Yeah, number 20, Elijah Kyle, defending there, able to knock it down. It'll be 4th down. The Hawks going to punt it again.
Excellent defensive play by Kyle there for the Mountaineers, because he jumped high to knock that pass down. Had he not got a hand on that,
it's a first down.
McFadden was open,
yeah.
and with him in open, it was a first down and maybe more, because if you get him in the open field, you just don't know what's going to happen.
On to punt it away for the Hawks, number 63, Joshua Thomaschek. Takes a South Harrison roll down inside the Mountaineer 30 to about the 28, and that's where the Liberty Mountaineers will start this drive. The rain has all but stopped here in Clarksburg, and if you're a football fan, a lot of them headed underneath of the bleachers,
I don't know how well you can see down there, but just a quick quick, hard shower, but it seems to be gone. Hopefully it clears off and stays that way the rest of the night.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers. Their own 28, leading 7-0 with 1:05 to go here in the first quarter. Snap comes back. Handoff to the fullback, McIntyre. Gets up over the 30 to about the 33. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Just very basic running plays for Liberty. It's a stack eye. You know, they've given it a lot to the middle back, which has been McIntyre most of the time. Biafor is the tailback clearing the back, and he's gotten in a handful of times. But they've mixed it up.
Handoff to Biafor. Tries to get to the outside. He'll be tackled by number 10, Jaron Robinson. And it'll bring up 3rd down, and it looks to be about 3 from where we sit.
Again, the offensive line for the Mountaineers have done a nice job. There's been room to run really on every play. I'll give South Harrison credit. One of the issues last year was tackling. They've done a pretty good job of tackling here tonight because, honestly, I feel like the initial holes have been there where it looks like, man, Liberty could break that for more, but South Harrison's done a good job of closing and making the tackle. As this game wears on there, that does make me nervous if they're going to be able to continue to make all those tackles.
First quarter comes to a close. South Harrison trailing 7-0, and the Mountaineers looking to keep this drive alive. They'll come out in the second quarter with facing a 3rd down and 3. Take a quick break. Get a word from a couple of our sponsors. Stay tuned. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Back inside here in Clarksburg, West Virginia, South Harrison trailing 7-0. 3rd down and 3 for the Mountaineers from their own 36. Handoff to the fullback, and I think he got up to about the 39-yard line, and that would, in fact, be good enough for another Liberty Mountaineer 1st down.
Nothing fancy, just straight running plays, but it's been effective for the Mountaineers thus far. South Harrison not doing it, they are making their tackles. Just that offensive line for Liberty is getting a good push and opening up the holes enough to where they're getting 3, 4, 5 yards at a clip, and that's just enough to keep the chains moving.
1st and 10. Formation. Leggett fakes the handoff, going to drop back at the screen pass.
Uh-oh.
Looks like that's McIntyre, has a lot of room. He's inside of South Harrison territory, the 40 to the 30, down to the 20, cuts back to the inside. He's to the 10, looks for one more block. He's got it, and he'll get into the end zone. No laundry on the field. It will be another Liberty Mountaineer touchdown.
That was a screen pass that was set up to perfection. I mean, obviously they've done a great job. Run, and come up with a screen pass. I could see it developing. Leggett dropped back, let the pressure come to him. It really looked like he wanted to throw the screen to the right, and any of the South Harrison defenders were over there. At the last second, he looked to the left, dropped it off to McIntyre. They had 3 blockers out in front. I mean, it was wide open. You could tell right away this was probably going to be a touchdown.
Number 80, Mason Conrad, attempts the extra point, and he puts it up and through. 14-0 is the score here. South Harrison trailing. Another storyline, I started to get into this a little earlier and then got a little bit sidetracked. A familiar name is actually helping coach over here for the Liberty Mountaineers, Nick Rush.
Yes.
Graduated a couple years ago from South Harrison High School. One of the better football players to come through in school history. He was a part of that class that was that included Freddie Canary and Cam Barnett. And he's down. Actually, he's up here in the press box coaching. And it's nice to see him doing what he loves and what he enjoys, although I would argue the callers aren't correct.
Right. It's hard to see that, especially if you're a South Harrison fan, because he really meant so much to the program. And, again, one of those what we call historic level players. But for him, it is a great opportunity. And I am happy for him to be able to get involved and get really at a young age to start coaching. That's a tremendous opportunity for him.
Well, and you have to start somewhere, right? So
yes, absolutely. Yeah, you got to go where the openings are at.
Absolutely.
So good for him. I'm sure he'll do a great job.
All right, looks like the Mountaineers are going to be ready to kick things off here to the Hawks, leading 14-0 back there for the Hawks. Number 14, Landon McFadden, and number 25, Caden Ryan. Kick is up. That's Haddock's. Correction. Goes through his hands. He goes back and gets it around the 5, gets out to the 10, and is wrapped up immediately. And so, trailing 14-0, the Hawks are going to have a long field in front of them.
Nice kick. It got past Haddox. He did a nice job, actually, to even track it down. But the Liberty coverage was down there quickly. And you said it. It's going to be a long field for South Harrison. But they desperately need to get something going offensively right now. Liberty's moved the football, got a couple touchdowns. You know, you don't want to see the game get away from you this early. They need a long, sustained drive or some kind of big play where they can get in the end zone.
Looks like they're staying in the I formation. Robinson is under center. Snap comes back. It's going to be a handoff, straight handoff to Landon McFadden. He gets up over the 10, maybe to about the 11 or the 12. It's a very short gain, brings up second down.
You know, second week of the season where teams are still trying to get their identity. You can see Liberty looks like they have there. South Harrison, last week the game kind of got away from them quickly, and then a lot of the starters got pulled just to try to keep them healthy. So I feel like this is a team that's still trying to, like, get its groove offensively, trying to figure out exactly what it wants to do. I know last year they had some success with Robinson throwing the football. They've really just not had a chance to get that going yet.
Robinson will pass into the hands of Ryan. It appeared as though he caught it, then he bobbled it, and then it looked like he caught it again, and then he dropped it. Incomplete pass.
Play started off shaky. It was a shotgun snap to Robinson. It kind of went through his hands. He bobbled it, did a good job to get it. Ryan was wide open, but really I was impressed with Robinson's throw because he threw it kind of falling backwards, and it was a long, long throw, really right on the money. Ryan just not able to haul it in.
So it looks like it'll be 3rd down and 9 for the Hawks. They'll go out of shotgun, trips to Robinson's left. Dyer in the backfield. Pass across the middle into the hands of McFadden. He catches it, but it'll be short of the first down marker inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. And, you know, if you're going to make that pass, you got to make sure you're over the first down line.
That's what you'd rather, because now it puts the coaching staff in a really tough spot. You're at the 19. You're on your own 19-yard line. It's 4th and 1, but you feel like there's a little sense of urgency already down 14-0, like we got to go for it. But this is a massive play in this football game early on. South Harrison needs this first down bad.
South Harrison going for it. Man in motion. That is McFadden. And there is movement, and it's possible that that's exactly what Coach Underwood was trying to have accomplished there. He was going to use a hard count there to draw Liberty off sides. That's exactly what happens, and the Hawks get their first down.
Great job there by the coaching staff, and I want to give Robinson credit for doing a good job. He's a senior quarterback of, voice inflection there and trying to draw them off sides. He did it. So that's a lot easier way to get that than having to try to pound that. I've been there for a yard. You just get the penalty and take the first down.
Shotgun, 3 receivers, 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Snap comes back. Robinson drops, passes it up the field into the hands of Caden Ryan, and he drops it. And it'll be 2nd down, incomplete pass.
Ball got tipped right before it got to Ryan. The Liberty defender thought he might have a chance at an interception. He did get his hands on it, and it just changed the trajectory of the ball just enough, I think, to throw Caden Ryan off, not able to make the catch. But South Harrison, throwing the football a little bit more, and I anticipated that we may see that again. Robinson last year, while healthy, did a nice job throwing the football.
14-0, South Harrison takes a timeout. 9:14 to go in the second quarter. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. Live here in Clarksburg, it's Hawk Nation. South Harrison Hawks looking to get their first win of the season. Last year, battling through a 1-9 year, injuries, depth issues, all those things seem to have corrected themselves. Now they just want to try to get that first win of the season. Snap back to Robinson. It's a toss back to McFadden. Tries to get to the outside. He turns the corner. He's got some room. First down. Slips a tackle. Still on his feet. And he's into Liberty territory as he gets past the 50 down to about the 48-yard line.
Very good play for South Harrison. Big, probably the biggest run of the season so far. Toss sweep out to the left to McFadden. It was well blocked, well executed. You could see the blockers out in front. You could see that he was going to get some yardage. And we all know when he gets in the open field, he can take it a long way, and he did a nice job.
Danny, there was a flag on the field, and they're going to bring that run back.
Now I see why it was so well blocked. They caught a holding on the play. Unfortunate. I obviously it's on the far side of the field. We couldn't see it, but that was a really nice play that was going to give South Harrison some momentum.
Coach Frank Tate, I saw him kind of step on the field and kind of throw his arms in the air, and I could not tell if he was getting on one of the players or if he was challenging the call on the field. Regardless, it's second down and about 13 for the Hawks. Shotgun formation, two receivers to the right, one to the left. The snap comes back. Robinson drops, looks up the field. He's got a man open. That's Haddix, and he throws it right into the hands of Liberty's number 20, Elijah Kyle. And, Danny, he dropped it. It was almost a pick six.
It was going to be a pick six. I can't tell if the ball's maybe a little bit wet. I mean, it rained hard enough that the field possibly still is. I looked at Robinson after the play, and he was kind of like, fiddling with his hands like it's maybe slipped a little bit because it was underthrown. But, yeah, it was right to the Liberty defender who was underneath the pattern. And had he caught that, it would be 20, maybe 21-0.
Third down, familiar situation thus far this evening for the Hawks. Third and long. 3rd and 13. Drop back is Robinson. Looks up the field. He's got a man. He passes it up into the hands of McFadden. One-hand catch. He catches it. It's not nearly enough for a first down, but there is a flag thrown in the backfield, and I wonder if we're going to see a late hit on the quarterback.
Can't tell yet what the call is. That would benefit the Hawks, obviously, but the way the body language is of the teams, I think it may be on the Hawks.
We're still waiting. The officials are discussing it.
It's a block below the waist.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's going to be the same result. Fourth down, the Hawks will be forced to punt it. The pass play was a gain of about 4. Personal foul block below the waist is the official call. Liberty declines it, and that's going to bring up fourth down and force the Hawks to punt it.
Yeah, the holding penalty on the long run by McFadden really was a drive killer. They had that momentum, it looked like, and to get that penalty, get behind the chains, just kind of stalled out.
Thomas check on to punt for the Hawks. Number 24, Beafor back for the Mountaineers. He gets it right around the 40, up over the 45, slips a tackle at the 50, and he's going to be brought down finally at around the South Harrison 45-yard line, brought down by number 12, Preston Peck. And the Mountaineers are going to have good field position again.
They've had good field position really all night. They're starting again in South Harrison territory. It was a really good punt, really nice punt, but a good return back by Liberty and Beafor. to set them up for another drive. South Harrison needs a stop here, maybe a turnover. It would be big.
Officially, the ball is placed at the South Harrison 42-yard line. .6'6", Noah Leggett under center. Snap back. He's going to pass. Passes it up. Incomplete. The intended receiver there, number 8, Eli Norman. It'll bring up second down.
Just a quick 3-step drop, trying to hit the receiver on a hook pattern. It was just poorly very much so underthrown right into the ground. I don't know if the ball slipped or if he just didn't have a good grip on the ball, but it wasn't even close.
The Hawks battling here this evening. Just haven't been able to get anything going on the offensive end. Really need to stop here. Second down and 10. Leggett with the snap. Handoff to Buchanan. And that'll be a huge tackle for a loss. Getting back there on the tackle, number 14, Landon McFadden. And that's going to be a loss of about 7. Brings up third down at about 17.
Big play. McFadden came on the blitz, a run blitz that time, was able to get right through the line, and it was a toss play, and he got to the back about right after he caught the ball, made the nice tackle. McFadden, just an impressive ball player, impressive athlete. He made a one-handed catch on that last play that they didn't get the first down out of it, but then here he shows up on defense as well, making big plays.
Timeout taken there.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
I believe by Liberty. Let's talk about the job that A.J. Harmon has done here for this Liberty football team. Danny, I mean, I hate to bring it up, but you played during a time where wins were far and few between.
Few and far between for sure. This is a program that historically has not been very good, not won a lot of games. They've had some stretches where they've gotten better for a handful of years, but Harmon has come back. He's a former Mountaineer, come back to the program to coach, and really has done a tremendous job to get this program built back up to where it's winning again. And this is the program's very strong right now. I mean, they had a big win last week on the road at Elkins, and they're off to a good start here tonight. I know they got some high hopes for this season.
Third down and 17, and a flag is thrown. Coach Harmon's not very happy.
Calling an illegal substitution or too many men on the field. That's why he was frustrated. He basically went out there to pretty much escort that player off the field. I'm sure wondering why in the world were you out there. We just came out of a timeout. That's very frustrating, though, Coach. You call a timeout. You come back out and then you get a penalty.
Snap back to Leggett out of shotgun. Third down and a mile. He's going to run out of the pocket. Robinson wraps him up right around the 48, 49-yard line. It's going to bring up fourth down, and you would have to be thankful if you're Coach Underwood over there. The Hawks have dodged another bullet. Looks like they're going to get the football back.
That he's very thankful right now for the pressure that was on the quarterback, because I got to tell you, number 24, I think it's Biafor, was wide open down the seam for Liberty. He was not covered. Had Leggett had any time, he probably would have hit him for a touchdown, but they forced him out of the pocket. Great job by the pass rush of South Harrison. They were able to get him to the ground to force the punt.
Conrad back to punt it away. There's movement on the line, and if the actions of Coach Harmon matter, I think it's going to be against the Mountaineers. It is.
Yeah, they may be up 14-0 right now, but that is a frustrated coach, upset. You can see right now he's fired up because he knows, these kinds of things can really hurt you in a ball game, and he wants them to, be tightened up. It's second game. It's time to get away from those penalties.
Snap goes through the punter's hands. And the Hawks are going to fall on top of the football. They get it down at the 20-yard line. Big, big situation here for the Hawks. I can't see who fell on top of it. Looked like number 31, Zachary Hogshead. Regardless, South Harrison's going to get their best field position of the night. Snap goes right through the punter's hands.
Massive play for South Harrison right there. That's the break they needed to hopefully get back in this football game. Just a high snap went right through his hands. I think the ball's wet. I mean, we've seen several things happen here tonight. South Harrison did a good job getting back there, jumping on the football. I thought for a second they might be able to even pick it up and take it for a touchdown. Nonetheless, really good field position right now.
Formation, 2 receivers. That's Ryan to the right, Haddix to the left. Snap comes back. Robinson tosses it back to McFadden. Tries to get to the right side, short side of the field. It's going to be run out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. Not a whole lot of room to make anything happen there for McFadden, and maybe gained a yard.
Toss sweep to the right, to the short side of the field, and sometimes that can work. But with a back like McFadden, you'd like to see maybe that go to the wide side, give him time, to use his speed, maybe make a cut. Really kind of ran out of field right there before he could get anywhere.
2nd down and 10, officially no gain on the play. Formation. Robinson fakes the handoff to McFadden, passes across the field into the hands of number 30, Hunter Bunch. And Hunter Bunch able to get into the end zone for a South Harrison touchdown.
Perfectly executed pass play. They got Bunch on a out pattern in the flat. Ball perfectly thrown. He made the catch and did a nice job running. I mean, there was a Liberty player there trying to make a tackle. I thought he could. Honestly, Bunch just kind of bounced right off of him. He is a big, strong kid, able to get in the end zone. This is what we needed. Just a big break, and then they took advantage of it, putting the ball in the end zone.
First touchdown of the season for this first unit for the Hawks. Looks like they're going to go for 2. Out of the I formation, hand off to McFadden. McFadden trying to get in. Does he? No good. The official says no. So the score 14-6. 6:14 to go. Hawks get into the end zone. And again, Danny, I want to point out that is the first touchdown for that first unit.
Yeah, that first unit last week just struggled, and then the game got out of hand, and the coaching staff decided that health was more important than getting in a flow offensively. And so here we go in the second game, finally got that touchdown. Hopefully that gets them that, gets the monkey off their back, so to speak, opens things up. That the 2-point conversion, shame he didn't get in there. It really wasn't well blocked. He kind of squirted through. I thought he might dive in. The official said he didn't make it.
6:14 to go here in the first half. Things started very, very shaky for the Hawks. Offensively, just not able to make anything happen. Defensively, very early on, they struggled, but it did turn. It did change. And, of course, Liberty turns it over. 6 points for the Hawks.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. I've seen Coach Underwood be aggressive with onside kicks at weird times last year. I don't think it's a great time to do it, but wouldn't be surprised if he tried an onside kick.
Caden Ryan kicks it off. It is a short kick into the hands of number 40 for the Mountaineers, Anthony Knapp. Nowhere really to go. Very well covered by the Hawks. On the tackle, number 21, Noah Dyer.
Yeah, not an onside kick, but I do think that was a designed kick to where he just tried to bloop it over the front line and get it to land in between. Liberty did a nice job of the back coming up and making the catch and running with it. I do think they were trying to see if they could get another big play off of special teams.
Officials timeout. Not sure what the issue is. Coach Underwood making his way onto the field.
Something with the play clock, I think. No, he's not happy about something.
Handoff to McIntyre, who just runs straight ahead up over the 45. About the 46. Yeah, I saw Coach Underwood come to, about 10 yards from his sideline onto the field, and the official just kind of shooting back to the sideline, which, he went, but he didn't look happy about it.
No, he did not. Hard to tell what exactly was going on there, but there was some kind of exchange between him and the official.
McIntyre had a gain of about 6. It brings up 2nd down and 4. Beafor has a first down. Looks like he's brought down over there by number 31, Zach Hogshead. It is a first down for the Mountaineers as they approach midfield.
Another toss sweep to the right to Beafor. Liberty did a pretty good job of having it blocked. They've executed well. They're mixing it up nice, and they're giving it to the middle back, McIntyre, giving it to Beafor. I think it's got South Harrison a little bit off balance up front, trying to get a real feel of what Liberty's going to do.
Handoff this time to Buchanan. Gains about 4. Brings up 2nd down and 6.
Handoff to the stick eye there to the tailback that time. But they've given it to all 3 backs. They've given it to the up back. They've given it to the middle back. They've given it to the tailback. I think it's a little bit difficult for those linebackers to see exactly who's getting the ball. There's so much action, so many players back there in the stick eye.
Handoff again. Running this time, Beafor on the tackle, number 14, Landon McFadden. And it brings up 3rd down and 1. They need the 40.
And South Harrison could really use another stop here. If they can tighten up and be ready, I look for McIntyre to get this ball on this play.
Handoff Beafor. Beafor has a first down. Slips through a tackle, gets down to about the 35-yard line. But again, the chain's going to move for the Mountaineers. And clock management, I have to give some credit to Coach Harmon. Clock management, very effective. He's using the clock very effectively. 3:46 to go.
It's very methodical. They've been very methodical on offense, just running the ball, basic running plays, but they're executing it. Their line's doing a good job, but I also want to give credit to their other backs who are blocking as well.
Out of the eye. Again, Beafor. Beafor running straight ahead. Trey Waller on the tackle, but not before Beafor gets about 5 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 5.
Again, the word that comes to my mind is just methodical, just kind of moving it down the field. They did mix in the screen pass that ended up being a big, long touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't mix in some kind of play-action pass here coming up on this drive.
2nd down and 5, under 3 to go. Leggett fakes the handoff to Beafor. He's being chased around in the pocket. Wrapped up and sacked. Brought down by number 30, Hunter Bunch, for the Hawks. Big, big defensive play.
Well, I just had mentioned I expected to see a play-action pass, and that's what they did. You could kind of see it getting set up. Great job by the Hawks, though, Bunch, getting back in there and getting a sack. They've done a nice job when Liberty has tried to pass it outside of the screen for the touchdown of getting pressure on Leggett and then getting him to the ground.
Brings up 3rd down and 12. Toss back to Beafor. Tries to get to the outside. A flag is thrown. Another flag comes in late. Beafor gets back down to about the 30, maybe the 29. And not enough for a first down, but again, these flags may tell a different story.
That first one's definitely going to be a hold. I don't know if they saw the same thing, but there was a hold right there at the point of attack.
Holding call against the Mountaineers. Actually, 2 holding calls. One declined, the other brings them way, way back, almost back to midfield. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 23.
As a break there, that sack was a big play for the South Harrison defense. It really just kind of pushed Liberty back. They get a stop here and get the ball back. That'd be great.
Leggett's going to pass. Toss out to McIntyre, a pass out to McIntyre. Trey Waller wraps him up right around the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down. The Hawks, once again, dodge a bullet. And South Harrison's going to get the football back with around a minute and a half, maybe less, depending if Coach Underwood decides to take a timeout, the question I was going to ask was, what will his strategy be here? But it looks like he is content to let the clock run out. Leggett will punt. Caden Ryan back for the Hawks. Play clock down to 7. Snap comes back.
Oh.
McFadden rushed the punter, and actually there was contact, but the official was right there and said, you know what, he got his hands on the ball.
I don't know if he did. I kind of lean towards that he didn't, but I'm glad, because otherwise it would have been roughing the kicker. But he may have. He got back there. It's kind of a shame he didn't fully block it because it looked like he was going to. I think I would have liked Coach Underwood to take a timeout there just to preserve some time, but he may have thought, I'm going to save those timeouts for this drive. I think you definitely want to try to see what you can do here.
Absolutely.
You scored the last time. I don't think you want to just be too conservative. They've had a little bit of success throwing the ball, but I don't know that they have to right now on the first play. We'll see what they do.
South Harrison going to start this drive at their own 40. The official called an official timeout. I'm not sure what the concern or the issue is or was, as they seem to be making their way back to their spots on the field. Yes, we're ready to resume play. You'd have to assume this appears to be a conservative play as they're lining up in I formation, receiver to the left and to the right. Robinson gets the snap. He hands it off to McFadden. Looks like Coach Underwood is content to get into halftime, down 14-6.
I'm surprised. I mean, it's not bad field position. You're up at the 40. You scored last time. I think I would be very inclined to at least maybe see what I could do to get some yardage there and see if we can get some more points on the board.
Again, lining up an I formation, 2nd down and 9. Game clock at about 22 seconds. Toss back to McFadden. McFadden tries to get to the outside. Nothing happening. He'll be gang tackled on South Harrison's side, near South Harrison's sideline, and that'll be the last play of the half. The Hawks will go into halftime trailing the Mountaineers 14-6, and although up for debate as whether or not when you get that almost when you tip that punt, you get the football back. Before the punt, do you take that timeout, get the football back with about a minute 45 seconds left? That can be debated.
Yeah, I definitely think they should have taken the timeout. He still would have had 2 left, I believe. I don't think they had taken a timeout. You'd have 2 timeouts in a minute and 45.
Well, they had taken one earlier, so they would have had.
So they would have been down to 1, and maybe that's why he wanted to see with 2. But nonetheless, they didn't use them anyway. So, different strategy there. Doesn't matter. The bottom line is that South Harrison got down early, looked like it could get away from them, but big play on the fumbled snap on the punt, got the touchdown pass, and they're in this ball game at halftime.
Which I guess was my point the point that I was getting to was you got, regardless of what we think or anyone else thinks about how that second quarter ended, you feel pretty good being down 14-6 at the half?
Absolutely. I think they definitely do. They got to feel really good about it because I think both of us sat here feeling like, oh, no, here we go again. It may be another blowout, and just the momentum really turned on that play, on the sack. And it was Bunch on the sack, and then Bunch had the touchdown.
Yeah.
So
big
good
play
job
by Hunter Bunch.
Good job by him tonight, making some big plays. So things really turned. The game turned on that play, and South Harrison's back in it, and hopefully they can keep that going in the second half.
14-6 is the score here at halftime. Take a quick break. We'll be back as the South Harrison High School Marching Band makes their way to the field. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, Call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. Of course, we always want to thank Mountain State Land Surveying and Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for their constant support of Hawk Nation. And next week, Danny, this halftime program will officially be Hawk's Nest halftime show.
We appreciate them stepping up and taking sponsorship of that. And, we're hoping to see other businesses in the community do the same. It's a great chance for them, for the businesses to, really just step up and say, hey, we support this community, also get some exposure. Certainly our broadcasts every week, highly listened to by those in the South Harrison community. And, that's definitely the attitude, I believe, of our listeners is, hey, we want to support local businesses. So get a hold of us. We'll get you set up.
Hawk's Nest in Good Hope will be sponsoring next week's halftime show and every home game's halftime show. They're going to be keeping their kitchen open late for all the Hawk fans to stop by after the game. Stop in and get a bite. We're thankful for the support.
Absolutely.
A lot of kind
Greatly
things.
appreciate it.
Yeah, a lot of kind things said again last week after our broadcast. We do thank you, the listener. And we had about 300 in-game listeners last week when the stats finally came out, which I thought was pretty impressive considering that at Doddridge County, you look across the field, it was packed. All the Hawk fans were packed out. But then we end up getting almost another 200 additional listeners after the game had aired, like the next day and the days following. And, people start talking about it. And, the point is the beauty of this podcast platform for an advertiser especially is that, hey, it's not FM radio where it just airs live and you never hear it again. You have the opportunity to go back and listen to it over and over and over again. I'll concede that sometimes we have some technical issues, but for the most part, it's a pretty solid platform. We're proud to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point to make is you can listen. We want you to listen live, and you should. You can actually go to the games, and you can listen on your phone. I mean, that's pull the app on your phone and listen to it while you're watching the game. If you can't make it, it's a great opportunity to do it at home. But, you can go back later and listen to it. And I think some of the players do, parents. That's a great point, and that's something that other people are not offering. But you have that chance to go back and listen later. And some people, it's so good, Tom, they listen twice.
They do.
That sounds like we're making that up, but no, we have had people say that.
No, it is true. And, the amazing thing is, as you mentioned, on your phone, you can actually drive down the road.
Yeah.
And I know in my vehicle it has the Apple CarPlay.
Yep.
You plug it in, and wow, you could just listen to it while you're driving down the road. I mean, it's a really nice setup. And with today's technology, everything's going to the internet anyway. And so, hey, jump on board. Not only be a listener, but help us out. Help us to keep this Hawk Nation alive.
For sure. I think sometimes, people are caught up in just radio would be the way to go. That's just what they're used to having. This is actually a much better option than the radio. Because of the versatility of it, because of the fact that you can have it on your phone at any point, whether you're here, whether you're at home, whether you're driving. It is recorded. It stays on the app. You have the opportunity. So, this is definitely the way to go with it. We like it, and again, we get so many comments and compliments, and we appreciate that. We appreciate those kind words.
South Harrison High School's marching band out there on the field. Let's take a moment and hear some of the sounds of the South Harrison High School marching band. South Harrison High School's marching band on the field for the halftime entertainment. You know, South Harrison High School's marching band, Danny, we've watched it grow under the leadership of Zach Bloom. More members, and that's exciting.
Now, we've seen that grow over the years, and that they've done an impressive job with that.
All right, let's talk about it as we near the midpoint of this halftime. Let's take a look at it from the perspective of A.J. Harmon, Liberty's coach. What do you think he is saying to his team at halftime? You could see the frustration down on the sideline from Coach Harmon as, they made some mistakes that kept South Harrison hanging around.
I think he's very, very frustrated right now. I'm sure he feels like they let an opportunity to really get South Harrison down big in the first half. They let that slip away. Things changed on that, and I said it. I felt like they were going to try a play-action pass, and they did. It actually hurt them, although I still like the call, and I think Harmon would call it again. It just wasn't blocked well, and give South Harrison credit for getting pressure, getting the sack. That really changed the game. You know, Coach Harmon, you don't want to let South Harrison hang around. You don't want to let them continue to be in this game, gain confidence, and gain momentum. That's where it is. So I think he's definitely saying, guys, listen, this is self-inflicted stuff. You know, we gave up a sack when we were moving the football. We snapped it over our heads. Listen, we're the better football team. Let's get back out there. Let's not get penalties. Let's not turn the ball over, and we'll win this game. I think that's what he's thinking right now.
Honestly, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, I think there were two drives for sure that, they really could have punched it into the end zone, and this game's over, right?
Oh, I think so.
So, yes, there has to be a level of frustration. We've seen Coach Underwood be pretty conservative to finish the second quarter. What's he saying to his unit? What did he see that made him not be so willing to take a chance there to end the half?
Well, I think what it says to me is he's not overly confident in his offense right now. I mean, to protect the football or to get a drive in that situation. But I think he's telling his team, hey, listen, guys, we survived early on. We got behind. But listen, we took a good punch from them, and we came back. We're right in this game right now.
Yeah.
This is where we want to be. I think they're going to get the ball first. And I think it's a very positive message in there at halftime saying, guys, we can do this. It's still a young football team that is trying to gain confidence and find its way. So I think it's a positive message, upbeat, optimistic for South Harrison and their coaching staff.
It was last year coming in, a change in offensive scheme, a lot of excitement. But in a lot of ways, we see them, even last year and to start this season, they're kind of reverting back to some of the more traditional South Harrison-type football teams. And, there has been some shotgun, but that's really been out of necessity, right?
Yeah, I think both years it's been out of they haven't been able to get a lot of momentum or whatever in the running game for the past two seasons, and they've went to the passing game. And Robinson does throw the ball well, and they've got a couple good receivers. But, yeah, I think it is more out of necessity. But, yeah, I think all of the fancy stuff, I'd like to say, sounds really good, but it's a little bit more complicated to execute. It takes timing. It takes practice. And when you're putting that in new, it takes time to develop that. And you're dealing with young players last year, and they're still very young this year.
When again, 34 on the roster this year, 19 on the roster last year, graduated some. Do the math, still a young and inexperienced football team.
Very young. If you go down the roster and you look at all the players that are playing significant time, there's more underclassmen than there are seniors. There's a few sprinkled in there, but
and even some of the upperclassmen are playing football for the first time.
Right. Caden Ryan comes to mind, and
Noah Dyer,
and he both of them, especially Caden, has been pretty. They're using him a lot. He's been in the return game. He's a defensive back. They've thrown the ball to him. He's running out of the running back position. So, yeah, inexperience is a factor. And that's where as time goes on, though, you can develop something. And I'm very happy that they were able to kind of get that big play and stay in this ball game, because this is how you get better.
Well, and this is, in my opinion, this is a morale booster. I think Coach Underwood's able to go into the halftime and say, guys, listen, you know, that almost got really bad, but you were bending, but you didn't break.
Yes.
You hung in there, and we have a football game at halftime. And he's probably saying, you know what, everyone out there thought this game is over by halftime, but we're still in it. And that's going to be, like I said, and they did show after that turnover some offensive success. Those are things you can build on. And then there's even a better thing you can point out. Of course, you don't point it out at halftime, but you and I can talk about it, and I guarantee the coach is going to talk about it or have already talked about it. The schedule gets lighter after tonight.
It does.
So, you know, you've got to feel pretty good. Again, 14-6, anything can happen. This is a football game tonight.
It is.
Last week, a week ago, they're out of the game by halftime. They're in it tonight. That's a positive.
No question about it. And this is a Liberty team that's good. I said they have high hopes. They beat Elkins last week at Elkins. I think it was like 40-8. I mean, they put it on them. And so South Harrison really coming in here tonight and making a competitive contest. And, hey, let's see what happens. Maybe they can pull the upset here tonight. But you're right. If they can survive, and we felt like that coming into the season, if they can survive the first two games healthy and, you know, not be demoralized, then the schedule there's a lot of games on this back part of the schedule that are much more winnable, and so we'll just have to see. But you don't want to lose confidence early. But I like what they did there late in the half to get back in this game.
Okay, let's talk Mountaineer football. Well, another Mountaineer football team.
Yeah.
WVU is going to play tomorrow at Missouri, noontime kickoff. What did you think of last week's game?
Well, I think it's a win. I really felt going into the game that, and I told a lot of people, we could lose that ball game last week. I mean, James Madison's number 2 in FCS, and the Mountaineer football program is in transition. New coach, new quarterback, new receiver. I mean, just so much new. But they were able. I actually was able to go to the game. I thought Brown, I felt like managed the game very well, managed the clock well. Some things in the past we've lacked. They were able to win. Yeah. I think this season, if any wins we can get, no matter how they look, we should be happy about it. It's a rebuilding season, so we're used to blowing those teams out. It doesn't really matter right now. We just need to get wins.
Well, let me say something. James Madison is a good football team. I don't care what level they're playing.
I agree, and like I say, they're number 2, and they always give big teams a battle every year, and they've even pulled some upsets. So I think a lot of people don't know that, but I think it was a win. I liked a lot of what I saw from Kendall. You know, they had no running game. They really,
very true.
James Madison stymied that, which I was surprised because that's supposed to be the strength of our team. They did a really good job of saying, you're not going to run on us, beat us with the pass. Kendall was good enough to beat them with the pass. Not flashy, not great.
Better second half than first half.
Yeah, I mean, you could see they came out, and that's understandable. The kid hasn't played in, that kind of action for a long time, really been a legit starter since in high school, and he's redshirted and all those things. So I think there's potential there. I would have liked to seen him run the ball a couple times. We did. It looked like RPO plays. I think they were just straight called runs. But I think it would have been nice to do a couple RPOs, let him keep it, even if you don't get very much. I think it would have opened things up. I think he has the ability to run. I mean, of course, they have Trey Lowe as one of the backups. He definitely is able to run. We'll see. Tomorrow's tough, man. It's an SEC opponent on the road. I think you asked me before, you think they can win tomorrow, and I said no, probably not.
I think they can.
I hope they do.
I think they can. I don't think Missouri's very good.
I don't know enough about Missouri to say. All I know is it's an SEC team on the road. Now, they are one of the cellar dwellers in the SEC.
Right.
And I'll say this about the SEC. It's very top-heavy.
It is.
It is. So they got the big teams up top, and then they're not as good. So, no, it would be a big, big win for West Virginia if they could get it.
Well, Coach Brown came under some criticism, which it brings up 2 points for me.
All right.
But he come under some criticism for his conservative type of play. But I'm going to agree with you. It's a win. It may not always be exactly the way you want it, and it's not the flashy offensive whatever that we have seen in the past. But remember, some of the same people criticizing Coach Brown for conservative play were getting on Coach Holgorsen for not so conservative play, which brings me to the point that we have talked about a lot of times. The West Virginia University Mountaineer fan base has unrealistic expectations.
Yep, I think that's exactly right. I mean, it can't be said any better than that. We tend to have unrealistic expectations. This is a program that it's rebuilding right now. We're in a very tough conference. It's taken time for us to get up to speed in that conference, and now we've got a change in the coaching staff. It's like people feel like national championship or bust, but we've never even won a national championship.
Correct.
So that can't be your standard. We'd love to get there, but we're not there. And we're never going to – I don't know that we're ever going to be perennial national title contender. You're hoping that every 4 to 5 years you maybe can have a good team. That's just the reality of it. You're dealing with you're competing with Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma State. These schools have been powerhouses for a long time. It's very difficult to catch up with that. I like Neil Brown. I think he's going to do a good job. You think about this. There wasn't a lot of mistakes made by the Mountaineers last week. Think back to the game.
I thought special teams was very much improved.
It was. So you can call it conservative, but it was solid. Not a lot of penalties. I don't know if they even turned the ball over. Special teams made some impact. These are things we haven't seen.
Absolutely,
what
I agree.
I've been told about Coach Brown is he knows how to win football games. And I saw that. I think his approach and the way he did it is why they won that game. We may have lost that game last year. We may have lost that. If that game's not coached and managed the way he did it, we may have lost.
Well, you think about some of the team rules he's put into place. I heard a story of a young man walking into a team meeting very early on when Coach Brown first arrived. Coach Brown said very politely, "I want you to take your hat off." The young man immediately says back, "Why do I have to take my hat off?" Coach Brown said, "It's a very good question, and I want you to stop by my office when this meeting's over, and we're going to discuss it." And they told that story that young man, he took his hat off, he went to Coach Brown's office after it was over, he walks away, and he come out and he said, didn't say what the reason was, but he said the man had a good reason. He actually explained it to me. He didn't make me feel stupid. He didn't embarrass me in front of my teammates. He just talked to me. But he has there's discipline. And there was no discipline with Coach Holgorsen. And I wasn't on the bandwagon of running him out of town. But you always got the sense with Coach Holgorsen, you always get the sense that this is not really where he wanted to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's true. Here's what I was told by some folks when I was at the game that kind of are more involved in the program than I am. Typically, what they're saying is what they love about Brown is he has a plan. Yeah. Like he has a plan in place, like a 5-year plan. He's following steps. Like he knows how he wants to build this program. Versus they said there was no plan by Holgorsen. It was just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. And I'm with I was not down on Holgorsen. I liked him. There were some things I didn't like, and that's always going to be the case. But I thought overall he did a pretty good job. For the most part, I hated to see him go. That being said, there were a lot of weaknesses as I look back on that tenure. And I think Brown brings some strengths that we've not seen in a while. So, listen, people, you got to give somebody time. My goodness.
Correct. And, we – that's so true. We are now finding out some of Coach Holgorsen's thoughts of the Mountaineer program.
Right.
It recently came out that when he lost to Oklahoma, he said, "We're never going to win here. I'm out of here." And I think he believed that, a lot of the way through, but he didn't have that professional option to just bail at that point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that Coach Brown feels the same way. I think Coach Brown, I'm not privy to his private thoughts by any means,
right.
But I think he believes that that he can build a football team here.
I think so, and you should believe that. I mean, you need to believe that. If you don't have that confidence on the inside of you, how can you expect your team and your program to have that kind of confidence? And you need that confidence if you're going to be that level. So I agree. I think Brown brings that. It's funny because I read that quote. We can't beat Oklahoma after a 59-56 loss to Oklahoma. By the way, he supposedly makes that comment, and then he's saying with Houston, well, we're going to beat them. It was
got
not.
smashed.
I tell you, it wasn't 59-56.
No, he got
it was
smashed.
worse. They were not really in that game.
He was in his preseason press conferences saying we're going to go there and get a win. He was actually saying we're going to get a win.
It's funny too. Is he said, I've never had a quarterback like this. About his current quarterback, I don't even know his name. I'm like, you said the same thing about Will Grier last year, but I believe that to be true. I think Greer's an excellent quarterback, and he's not one that comes around all the time. But come on, man, you can't say those kinds of things. But it is what it is. I think, and from all the experts' opinions, we had an upgrade in coaching.
I agree 100%. Tom's going to tell the story of what happens or unfolds in Morgantown. We are about to kick off the second half. Stay tuned. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. Tanner Moore for the Liberty Mountaineers set to kick it away to the Hawks. Danny Pate, look down there at the return. Coach Underwood has stacked Haddix and McFadden, and it's going to be an onside kick to start, and I think the Hawks recovered. They did. See if I can get a number over there for the Hawks. Number 67, Zane Snyder, the freshman, falls on top of it. And it will be 1st and 10 from the South Harrison 49.
Surprised by the onside kick there. Of course, I think that was the goal, to surprise somebody. Fortunately, it didn't surprise the Hawks.
You said something during halftime that maybe Coach Underwood didn't have a lot of confidence in his offense. I don't think that Coach Harmer has confidence in the South Harrison offense either. Handoff to Landon McFadden. And just as I say that, he busts one. He's got a first down, still on his feet. Breaks away from the pack and runs out of bounds. Looks like inside the 30-yard line. But anyway, back to my point, the way he stacked his return men, it looks like he's looking for not that you're not always looking, but you're really looking for an alternative way of getting into the end zone.
Absolutely. And I think he's also trying to make sure that he can get the ball in McFadden's hands,
yeah.
Which is what he needs to do. Good play there. I agree. Coach Harmon not confident in the South Harrison offense, but I think maybe he's confident in his defense.
1st and 10 from the 29. Snap comes back. Hand off to McFadden. Runs straight ahead. Danny, you're excited about something. What is it?
Well, I mean, there was the Liberty Mountaineer player was clearing the backfield and threw one of the South Harrison players to the side. 5 seconds after the whistle, right in front of the official. How do you not call that? I mean, that kind of stuff, we got to keep an eye on that because there's been stuff in the past.
Last year, as a matter of fact.
Schools.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Snap comes back, 2nd down and 5. Handoff McFadden running really hard. Looks like a renewed passion by this South Harrison team down inside the 20, and it looks to be good enough for it. Yes, a South Harrison first down.
And what happened last year is the officials, and you could probably go back and listen to that game if you want to on there as well. The officials
we warned,
let it get out of hand, and we talked about it, but before.
Yes, we did.
And I'm ready to say the same thing. Don't let that happen again. Now I will say they did call both teams right there together, and because there was more jawing going on, and the official said something. They got to take control of this thing, but you need to throw the flag when that happens.
First and 10 from the 19-yard line. Robinson hands it off to a stumbling Landon McFadden, who trips and falls forward, maybe gains a yard, but he had more room, but he tripped up.
Trying to make a cutback in the hole there, and it was there. He read it. He saw it. Good vision. Just not able to get his feet under him to make the play. But the Hawks, the running game looks good. You're right. They just the way they're going to the line of scrimmage, I see more confidence. They feel like, hey, we can do something here, and they're doing it so far. See if they can punch it into the end zone.
Snap back. Hand off to McFadden, running hard, straight ahead, takes a hard hit. Looks like big number 34, Seth McIntyre, doing it on the defensive end as well, but not before McFadden gains 5, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 from right around the 14-yard line.
I'm always impressed with what a hard runner McFadden is. He's not a big kid. He's really not. We know he's fast, he's quick, he has moves, but I tell you, the boy runs hard.
Again, it's like a handoff straight up for McFadden. He tried to find some room, but he's going to lose yardage on that play. Loss of about 3. Brings up 4th down and about 8.
It'd be disappointing if they can't punch this in here after, recovering the onside kick and just really moving it right down the field. This is a big play for them to keep things going, but it's going to be tough. It's 4th down and 7. Whatever play call he's really confident in, this is the time for that, and I think they're going to probably have to put the ball in the air.
Play clock running down, under 3. Going to need a timeout, or you're going to lose 5 more. And what do we have here? Coach Underwood was able to get the timeout. Looked like they were just really confused there that time.
Maybe it took a little bit longer to get the play call in, being that it was 4th and 7, trying to make a decision as to what they wanted to do. There was some confusion as well, as you mentioned. Guys not sure what to do. They had to take the timeout. You hate to burn a timeout there, but I'd rather you take that timeout than miss the
Absolutely.
Get pushed back 5 more yards. They did get the snap off it, or were going to, but the offense was in a state of confusion.
Looking back to last year's contest, we referenced it. There were various altercations that ended up clearing most of both of the sidelines in the middle of the field, and really extracurricular things continued even after the game. It was not pretty. I remember leaving South Harrison High School last year very disappointed in the way that some people responded and acted during and after the game. So I think you're right, Danny. It's really important, and hopefully the officials are aware of the situation and keep things under control here in the second half. Hey, it's an in-county rival. 4th down. Movement from the Liberty Mountaineers side with no flag thrown. Haddix goes in motion. Jaron Robinson's going to keep it. He's running. He stays on his feet. It's not going to be nearly enough. It was a designed quarterback run.
It was basically a bootleg back out to the right. He faked the pitch to the left to McFadden, and then he was going to bootleg out. They were hoping to just catch Liberty over pursuing. The defensive end for the Mountaineers did his job, stayed at home, and made the tackle. I think I would have liked to see him put it up in the air. And maybe I didn't get a chance to really see if they had a receiver going down the field or not. Looked more like a run to me. Would you agree?
I agree. And you had said, whatever play you have confidence in, run that. And I think maybe that does speak to where we are right now. Liberty takes over on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 15. Running ahead. It looks like Biafor on the run. Tackled by number 10, Jaron Robinson. Gain of about 5 brings up 2nd down and 5. You think about if the Hawks are able to get it into the end zone there. I mean, who's to say, but you think momentum shifts, game's definitely closer, potentially tied with a 2-point conversion. I don't know.
Missed opportunity.
Missed
I mean,
opportunity.
you got the onside kick. You're down there deep after moving the ball. Missed opportunity.
Fumble on the play. I think the Hawks got it. This would be huge. They're signaling that Liberty got it. The official signals that Liberty recovered, but the Hawks come out of the pile with the football. And they've changed the call on the field. South Harrison has recovered the fumble. And if you're Coach Harmon, this is deja vu all over again.
Yeah, he's certainly very unhappy. But the Hawk fans, they're elated right now. It happened right in front of the South Harrison bench. A big hit late there. They kind of held him up. Someone came in and put a hit, jarred the ball loose. The Hawks right there to recover. Tom, they got to get in the end zone here.
Got to get in the end zone.
And get this game right back, hopefully tied.
Here come the Hawks. They are at the Liberty 25-yard line. Again, looks like there's some confusion there. Snap does come back to Robinson. Hands it off straight up the middle. Goes Landon McFadden, the senior. And he's going to gain what appears to be about 4 yards, which will bring up 2nd down and 6. And if you could get 4 every carry, you're going to be doing all right.
It will work. They've got to keep doing that. I'm with you. That's been really where they've been most successful, is pounding it up in the middle. One thing I'm seeing, though, develop here with this team as their identity is being revealed, they need another weapon. And we talked about that a lot last year. They need some other dimension added to this offense to bring some balance.
Again, fakes the handoff to McFadden, throws it up the field, intercepted, and he may go all the way. He's got a lot of room. That is number 2, Tanner Moore, and number 10, Jaron Robinson, able to drag him down. And you just see the frustration coming from number 10 for the Hawks as he quickly realizes what a game changer. I'm going to call it a game changer.
Definitely. It was an out pattern, and he overthrew it. I mean, the ball got away from him. That's his second interception. The same thing happened twice. It just kind of sailed on him, trying to make the pass, and sometimes that happens. Just obviously a horrible time for that to happen.
Well, you were talking about needing another dimension, another weapon. It looks like Coach Underwood agreed. He's really trying to find it. Not successful there. From the 40, handoff to Beafor. He gets to the outside. Correction, Buchanan running the football. On the tackle for the Hawks is number 14, Landon McFadden. And a lot of movement, but it's only going to produce about 2 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 8.
I agree. Back to the interception, I think Underwood was feeling the same thing. We got to do something else here, switch it up a little bit. And I don't think that's a bad option. I don't dislike the play call. Jaron Robinson can throw the football. He can't. He threw a bad pass there. That happens. It's unfortunate, but I see what he was trying to do.
I formation, handoff to Beafor, and he is tripped up again by Landon McFadden, or he probably goes to the house.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a touchdown-saving tackle. Just at the last second, got tripped up there and brought to the ground.
Officials timeout. It looks like they're going to. Looks like maybe they're going to measure. Yes. I don't know. I mean, it's a poor angle for us, but I think from where I'm going to call it 1st down for the Mountaineers. Let's wait and see. But I've never missed one of these.
Is that right?
Yeah, you should know that. And I didn't miss this one.
You did not. You were right. I thought it was a bad spot. I thought he got another yard or two, and it wasn't even close.
What do you mean, really? You know that I do not miss those.
I feel like every announcer ever always says, I've never missed one of these.
Thanks for having my back. Much appreciated, Danny. 6:33 to go, 14-6, and the Mountaineers are driving. Snap comes back. Handoff to, I believe, Beafor. He's going to be tackled, brought down by number 75, Trey Waller. Also getting in there on the action for the Hawks is number 53, Jason Lasimar. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
I saw a little bit of extracurricular activity there after the play again. Just a little pushing and shoving. Just want to keep an eye on that again, especially after what happened last season.
Yeah, you can be guaranteed the officials may not know the story from last year, but both teams on the sideline do. Handoff to McIntyre. Gets to the outside, has a 1st down, and he's going to be tripped up. And I could not tell who was able to get in there, but the closest person I could see is number 60, Levi Swiger for the Hawks. And near another first down, right around the 21-yard line, needs the 20 for the first down. And off to McIntyre. Has the first down, but a flag is thrown in late.
Might get a hold here. That would be big. Yep.
Holding against the Mountaineers.
Liberty continues to hurt themselves. I mean, they really have hurt themselves with turnovers and penalties and sacks at bad times, and just, that's third. And I kind of thought the kid had already got a first down. They marked him just a bit short, and then he gets it, but you get called back. Now we got third and long. South Harrison here hanging around. Man, a stop here would be big.
Third down and a little more than 10. Hand off to Beafor, runs straight ahead, breaks loose, gets the first down inside the 15 to the 14. Bringing him down is number 30, Hunter Bunch. But again, a missed opportunity for the Hawks.
No doubt. We talked about the frustration for Coach Harm, and I guarantee the South Harrison coaching staff right now is so frustrated that they get them in a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 situation. They just run a basic off-tackle run and get the first down. You do not want that to happen.
Leggett, snap back, toss back to Beafor. Beafor tries to get to the outside. Turns the quarter, going to be knocked out of bounds by number 32, Jacob Haddix, right around the 5-yard line. Looks like the train is rolling now for the Mountaineers.
Moving the football kind of back to that methodical approach again. They've, for the most part, they've executed their runs well. This 3-back stick eye with 3 backs. When they get it to the tailback, those 2 up backs have really done a nice job getting out in front and making blocks, and I think that's made it difficult for South Harrison to stop.
Second down and 3 from the 6. Hand off to McIntyre. He's hit right around the 5. And near the first down marker, but he's going to be a little shy. It will bring up third down. He needs 1.
Wow, this whole drive has been, I think they get a first down, and then they mark it just short. I think this is a third and short. I mean, like really short of this drive.
Speaking of short, this quarter's flying by, isn't it?
It is.
Leggett under center. Hand off to Buchanan. He stood up, but he gets through the pile. Amazing run there by Buchanan. Gets into the end zone for a Liberty touchdown.
It looked like he was stopped. I mean, he was held up, like you said, and just somehow kind of kept the legs churning. He was able to just break away. Just a really strong-looking run for the Mountaineer running back, and he got into the end zone, unfortunately, for the Hawks.
20-6 is the score, awaiting the extra point attempt. Mason Conrad, no good, just short. Well, I think the story of this game, one thing that that has been very clear is Liberty has had the ability to be very methodical, and when they haven't been shooting themselves in the foot, they've done a pretty good job of taking time off that clock. South Harrison's offense, not a quick hit offense.
No.
They have got to do something and do it fast. Time is not on their side.
It's not. I mean, the clock is ticking, and I think Liberty hasn't finished well. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. They've had drives. They've moved the football well. Just haven't finished. Now, they were able to on that drive, and now the Hawks have to respond here with the offense, which it has looked better in the second half. Really unfortunate the turnover deep in Liberty territory. Obviously very hurtful.
Momentum is a dangerous thing, and right now it's on the side of the Mountaineers. The Hawks awaiting the kick. Again, stacking his returners. Looks like Haddix is right around the 10, and directly behind him standing is number 14, Landon McFadden. And I agree with you, Danny. I believe it's just an opportunity to try to get the football into McFadden's hands.
I like it. Anytime you can get it in his hands, the odds of good things happening go way up.
Moore kicks it away. It takes a hop. It's going to take a roll towards McFadden. I don't like this. He bobbles it and falls on top of it at the 15. It just really rolled way too long.
It did, and McFadden had a long way to come up there to get it. You would really, it's the other players I think weren't aware of exactly what the ball did. It kind of died there. McFadden had to try to run up and get it. And he tried to pick it up and run with it, which I don't fault him for. Wasn't able to get it clean and made it a lot closer to maybe being a turnover.
So the Hawks 1st and 10 from their own 15. 3:27 to go here in the third, trailing 20-6. I formation, 2 receivers, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Looks like movement again, no flags. Hand off to McFadden. McFadden trying to find somewhere to go. Gets up over the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Give him 6, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
Again, running hard there. Looked like maybe that the Mountaineers had penetration and we're going to be able to make the tackle in the backfield. McFadden able to kind of make a nice cut there and get inside and then get a really positive gain on 1st down. I'm seeing some positive things by this Hawk offense. Same thing I said about Liberty, though. They got to finish. They got to get this drive. They got to finish with the ball in the end zone to get right back in this game.
Out of the shotgun now, trips to the right. Dyer in the backfield. Robinson going to keep it. Runs straight ahead, takes a hard hit, stays on his feet with a passion, and then looks like maybe grabs his leg. I don't know if it's a cramp. Looks like maybe it's a cramp. He's calling towards the sideline for a replacement, but he gets the 1st down. Just a ton of passion there by Jaron Robinson.
Hopefully it is just a cramp, but that was a nice run. He made a really good decision. The receivers downfield were covered. He was able to break free from any kind of pressure, and then made a run there to get the 1st down and then broke a tackle. Really a hard run. That's the kind of thing that gets your team fired up. Just unfortunate that he's dinged up there. The way they're working with him, I think it is a cramp.
It does. It looks like they're trying to roll something out. The freshman, number 11, Caden Davis, comes in. Be 1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 32. Snap back. He'll hand it off to McFadden. McFadden stood up and brought down. And this really does create, when you talk about trying to find another weapon for the Hawks, this, when Robinson's not on the field, it really does once again make the Hawks offensively one-dimensional.
One-dimensional. I mean, they're fairly one-dimensional even with him on the field, but he definitely is a threat to throw the ball, and really he ran it there very nice. Maybe he should run it more. I think that would be a good thing. But, yeah, you bring in a freshman quarterback with limited experience, everybody here knows McFadden's getting the ball. I think outside of one run on the second play of the game, I don't even know if we were on air yet, McFadden's run every play, right? I don't think I don't remember any other back getting the ball. I mean, a handoff. There was one time
Dyer got it early,
and then that's it. He's gotten it every single time. I'm not saying that. I understand why you would give it to him that many times.
Looks like they're going to line up 2nd down and 10. Caden Davis still out there for the Hawks. 3 receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Dyer in the backfield. And the Hawks are going to take a timeout. If I'm a betting man, I'm thinking maybe
trying to get Jaron back in.
Yeah, trying to get Robinson back on the field. They take a timeout. We'll take one as well. South Harrison trailing the Liberty Mountaineers 20-6. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400, located in Jane Lou and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. 20-6 is the score here. Snap comes back. Robinson is back on the field. Handoff again to McFadden. He gains maybe 2. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
What's happening, too, is this becomes an obvious passing down, and that's when South Harrison's throwing it. You know, maybe I like mixing in a pass play there on 2nd and long, even if it's just a little screen pass or a little quick, short slant pattern, something quick, but just something to be a little bit different. You hate having to throw when they know you're going to throw.
Snap back. Robinson's looking to pass. Rolls out of the pocket, still on his feet, takes a hard hit, and he's going to be brought down. Put forth a lot of effort to gain 1 yard. 4th down, Danny. Right over the 35 to 36. Do you go for it here?
No, I think you go ahead and punt it. You hate to, but I just think if you don't get it, you're giving it to them right there at the beginning of the 4th quarter in great field position. You could go down 3 touchdowns. You know, Liberty has turned it over a couple times. You hope maybe they'll do it again.
Thomas Check is out there to punt it away, standing at his own 24. Snap back to low snap. He has to pick it up, and it's going to be a short punt, and takes a hop right at the 45-yard line. So, you know, he's a freshman punter. He's actually handled himself really well over the last couple weeks. He's been put in some really bad situations.
He's had several tough snaps to deal with. He's done very well. Kudos to him. That was a really tough position. I'm surprised he even got it off. Now, of course, if we would have known that that was going to happen, I would have said, yeah, you got to go for it. Because basically they didn't gain it. They gained like 10 yards in field position, and that's it. But it is what it is. This defense for South Harrison right now has got to step up, make a play, get a turnover, get a stop.
Leggett hands it off to McIntyre. McIntyre hit by Hogshead, lunges forward to gain a couple, but for the most part, Zach Hogshead, number 31, there to stop most of that progress.
Tackling much better this year. I mean, there was an issue all season last year, and it's just so much improved. They're a fairly solid tackling team so far this season. So we'll hopefully that can continue.
3rd quarter comes to a close. 20-6 is the score here. South Harrison in a bit of a hole. Definitely need to get a stop here to start the 4th quarter. But if you're Coach A.J. Harmer, at least through 3 quarters, you're probably not overly excited about the way your football team has played.
I'm sure he's extremely unhappy. They've had opportunities to blow this game open early. They've made a lot of mistakes. Really, I'm sure from his perspective, they've done a lot of things to keep South Harrison in this ball game tonight. And, not what he's wanting. It's whatever the outcome is in this game, it's probably going to be a tough week of practice for the Mountaineer football team.
They have a tough schedule playing in the Big Ten. All right, here we go. First snap of the 4th quarter. Toss back to Buchanan, who had the last score for the Mountaineers. Looks like he's got a 1st down, and Hunter Bunch able to bring him down after a gain of about 14. And the chains move. Football down at what appears to be the 33-yard line.
Very patient run that time. I kept waiting for him to cut up the field. There were blockers in front. It looked like to me he could cut up, but just patient, and it paid off. It was a nice run for a first down. Liberty moving the ball again. The question is, will they shoot themselves in the foot? Can South Harrison step up and make a big play?
Hand off to Beafor. Beafor runs ahead and tackled by number 14, Landon McFadden. Gain of about 5 brings up second down and 5.
There's been some critical holding penalties here tonight that have hurt Liberty. Maybe, you hate to hope for that, but, I mean, if you're South Harrison, that may be something that can help them right now.
Well, and South Harrison struggling themselves, you'd have to think that some of the teams in the Big Ten would capitalize on those mistakes.
For sure. There's a
flag
flag
is thrown. Beafor tries to get to the outside. Knocked out of bounds by number 31, Zach Hogshead. But again, a flag is thrown, probably coming back anyway.
Well, the timing was right there. There it was. I think that.
Boy, aren't you Johnny on the spot?
I've said a few things tonight, and it's happened the next play to give myself credit.
Well,
I want to pat myself on the back.
Yes.
I know you're not going to.
I am not.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm still kind of hung up on the.
Oh, I know.
The whole measurement thing. I've never missed it. You conveniently forget. It's convenient amnesia.
I just can't remember.
Under 11 to go, 20-6. Second down and 15 after the penalty. I formation, Leggett. Hands it off to McIntyre. He's got a lot of room. And I think it was Hogshead who wrapped him up around the ankles, and he was able to break away before. I can't see if it was McFadden is able to catch him and bring him down, but whoever it is injured.
I think it was honestly Jaron Robinson.
It is Jaron Robinson. Not sure what's going on with him. It appears maybe it was just a uniform issue. He couldn't lift his arm because it looked like maybe his pads or something was restricting his movement. Anyway, all is well. Handoff again to McIntyre. Runs ahead. He's down to about the 5-yard line. Needs the 3 for a first down. It'll be second down and about 2.
I think it's a steady dose of McIntyre right now, most likely down here. They really like giving him the ball. He's a strong, tough runner. Been tough to bring down tonight.
Handoff this time to Beafor. Beafor into the end zone. Liberty touchdown. South Harrison not able to hold him back. Everyone knew coming into it how good Seth McIntyre was. He was a big, strong returning player from last year and name recognition and all of that. But I tell you, the Beafor kid and the Buchanan kid both have been pretty good out of the backfield for the Mountaineers.
I agree. I like both of them. Beafor just a junior, looks good. Buchanan, he is a senior.
Extra point attempt here. It turns into a 2-point conversion attempt. 28-6 is the score here now.
I don't think that was the call. I think it was he had a hard time handling the snap or whatever. This was the holder. He got up and just took off for the corner. Honestly, he showed a lot of speed. I didn't. Normally, you can't get to the corner there from that position, but he did. Really good speed for the 2-point conversion.
If you're Coach Underwood and his coaching staff, no doubt about it, when you leave here tonight, you're going to look back. And, Danny, you said it in the first half and even in the second half. Early missed opportunities will be the storyline here. I want to shift gears just for a moment before they come back on the field to play. Danny, as you're probably well aware, Notre Dame canceled their football season this year. They had low numbers. One of their players, Gabe Lopez, and his teammate Brandon Nicholson both wanted to go to Robert C. Byrd and be eligible to play football this year. The SSAC ruled that was not going to happen, so they sued.
Yes.
Well, on Thursday, a Harrison County judge actually ruled that he did not have the jurisdiction over the case to make that decision. So now it's going to go back to an SSAC Board of Review, actually an appeal on September 17th. Probably not going to play this season would be my guess. I don't see the SSAC overturning their original ruling. What are your thoughts?
I think it's tough. There's a lot of complicated things here in this situation. I think that the SSAC is definitely not going to overturn their own ruling, and I think they're going to try to drag it out as long as they can, and then they've missed the season anyway.
We'll get back to that in a moment. The kickoff to Jacob Haddix gets up over the 30 to about the 32, and that's where the Hawks will start.
You know, there's a lot of, like I say, there's so many levels of this. I think the first thing I always think about the kids first, regardless of all the politics and all the stuff. We got two young men that are missing a year of football. I can't remember if they're seniors or juniors or what they are, but they're missing a football season, and that's a shame. And not just them, but I mean several other football players for Notre Dame that were not able to play. So I feel for the kids. Now, what all has gone on behind the scenes to lead us to this point, I don't know.
1st and 10 for the Hawks from their own 32 out of the I. Robinson hands it off to the fullback. I believe that's Zach Hogshead. Confirm the number here. Nope, Haddix with the carry. Gains maybe a yard, brings up 2nd down and 9. I think it's a good point what you bring up there. I mean, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but, Coach Alvaro, the longtime head football coach, left. And I think, from an outsider looking in, I think that probably played into the numbers issue.
I think it made a major impact for sure. When he didn't come back, he had done a great job with that program, had really built it up. There he goes.
Toss back to Landon McFadden. He breaks loose, gets past midfield down to about the 44-yard line. Another big run there by McFadden, but he shook up a little bit.
Yeah, I can't tell what's hurting him, but he's in pain. But I mean, man, when he gets in the open field, he's very fast. It's fun to watch, impressive. He just hasn't had a lot of chances to break loose this year, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Liberty Mountaineers. I formation. Snap comes back, hands it off to McFadden. McFadden kind of hesitates and then lunges forward, maybe gains a yard. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 as he gets to the 39-yard line.
I feel like what he's favoring like an arm or a hand. He keeps looking at it, and maybe it's a finger because he was still playing with him. He's in the backfield there. And it's tough because you're going to get the ball again. You got to hold on to that, and I think that's the most tentative we've seen him run, and I think it's because he was very aware of ball security there, and he has come off the field.
2nd and 9. Coming on to play fullback number 45, Michael Radcliffe, the freshman. Looks like maybe I'm trying to see who replaced. Looks like Jacob Haddix has replaced McFadden at the tailback position. Fakes the handoff. Robinson's going to keep it. He's got 5 at least. Very determined run there, and I agree with you. I think they have something with the 1-2 punch with McFadden and Robinson.
Yeah, they're slow to pick up on that. I don't know what's the word. They've missed that. They've missed it, but tonight he's flashed that ability, and I think they need to build on that. Really nice fake that time. Had the ball on his hip, trying to roll out. It looked like maybe he was even going to be able to get more yards than he did there. But I think that's another weapon, and they need another weapon.
3rd down and 5 from the 36-yard line. 7:38 to go in the contest. Again, South Harrison trailing 28 28-6.
I use the term another weapon. I think another dimension to the offense right now. It's all about McFadden. I think they can throw the ball. It's not really materialized that way tonight with a couple of interceptions. They haven't got that going yet. But I think you add in some runs with Robinson, and I think you have something.
You go back to the time of Brad Jett and even Gary Barnett, very power-running type offense. Stick eye with Gary Barnett, a double wing with Brad Jett, and it also mixed in some I formation stuff. But the whole point was we're going to run it, and put the ball down your throat, so to speak. But they had a ton of depth at the tailback position. Toss back to McFadden, who's quickly wrapped up and brought down. It'll be fourth down. Does that make sense what I'm saying? They had more depth.
They spread the ball around a lot. They had definitely a lot of different weapons, dimensions, and that made it work. There just doesn't seem to be those kind of options right now with this.
Well,
with
they're so young.
The young teams.
Yes.
I think youth plays a big role in that. Let's go back to this play. It's a toss sweep to the left. Give credit to McIntyre for Liberty, who did a run blitz, broke right through and made a tackle on McFadden, who is tough to bring down. And big loss that time for the Hawks.
Under 7 to go, fourth down. Toss back to McFadden again, just trying to find a hole. Nothing happening. It's another loss. And he's thrown down to the field, and the Hawks will turn it over on downs, and Liberty will take over at their own 46.
That was weird. The toss sweep, but it looked like he was going slow. I thought he was maybe going to come up and try to throw a pass.
I did as well.
It's what it looked like, but I think he was just trying to, wait for something to develop in the running game, and it just never did. Don't really like that play call on 4th and 10. It's not like it's worked the rest of the game, and I don't know why you think it's going to on 4th and 10. Throw the ball there, I think, or do something if you got a trick play. Kind of would be a last-ditch effort to somehow just keep a little bit of hope in this ballgame. I think it's not looking good right now at all.
28-6, 6:48 to go. Leggett under center. Hands it off to the fullback, McIntyre. He's got a first down and more, and once again, Hunter Bunch running from behind and making the tackle. Boy, Hunter Bunch has really showed up for this football team tonight, and we saw spots of it last week as well.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of Hunter for the way he's playing on the football field this evening.
Playing very hard. He did flash last week. I thought as a defensive end, he did a really nice job, made some plays. Tonight, he's had a monster game. I think when they watch the film, they'll see that he's been in on a lot of tackles, had a touchdown catch. We know him well. And he plays hard. We talked about his brother playing hard last week. He plays very hard as well.
Hand off to Beafor. No, that's Buchanan. Down inside the 30 to about the 27. Gain of 5 will bring up second down and 5. And again, they are just rolling at this point. And, what we were talking about with South Harrison's offense in years past, how they were able to just run guys in and out at that running back position. That's what we see Liberty doing. It's Beafor, it's Buchanan. It's Beafor, it's Buchanan.
Yeah. Sprinkle in little McIntyre, and you got something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beafor runs. He'll be tackled there by number 32, Jacob Haddix. But once again, the Mountaineers move the chains.
I think they've got South Harrison wore down at this point.
I agree. They do look tired.
Yeah, they're tired, and then also they know the score. At this point in the game, it's like, man, it's 28-6. We're not going to win. So it's not only are you physically tired, you're kind of mentally and emotionally down as well. And I think we're seeing the results of that on this drive.
Hand off to McIntyre, straight up the middle. I'm not certain that was McIntyre.
I think it's a different back. Yeah,
it looked like number 9,
Uh-huh.
Bryce Stearns, the senior, 5'11", 170 pounds. He gets down inside the 5. Looks like there might be an injured player for the Mountaineers down.
I think it's a ball carrier. Yeah, I think can't tell what the issue is.
Stearns running hard for the Mountaineers. While they attend to the player down, we will take a timeout. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. The injured Mountaineer player is able to get up and walk off of the field to the applause of the crowd, of course. 28-6 is the score. It's first and goal from the 5 for the Mountaineers. Leggett under center, I formation, play clock at 5. Handoff, I believe that was McIntyre on the run. Yep, it was McIntyre. He gets up right near the goal line to about the 1.
Obviously the result of this game is clear at this point, but I do want to say, there's so much improvement on this South Harrison football team over last year. We saw it last week. I think you could see even more improvement this week over last week. We're through a really tough part of the schedule at the beginning. Things start to get a little bit better, and I think we're going to see some good things this season from this South Harrison football team.
Stay healthy will be the number one key.
Oh, they fumbled.
Looked like it was McIntyre or Stearns. No, it was Stearns on the run. There was a fumbled football, but the Mountaineers recover. Brings up third and goal from the 1.
No, you're right. When we said that last week, and coming in, they have to stay healthy. Last year was an issue. Key players all season long injured. They need to stay healthy, but if they do, I think there's going to be some good things for this program.
Handoff to Buchanan, and he gets into the end zone untouched for another Mountaineer touchdown.
Well, again, I just think this is a South Harrison defense that's just kind of worn down at this point with all the different backs, all very good backs, running behind a solid offensive line. They've had to put up with that all night. They've really tackled well, but at some point you just kind of wear down. And, of course, once you know what the result's going to be, it makes it difficult as well.
Extra point attempt is good. 35-6 is the score. Looking ahead, South Harrison will play host to Parkersburg Catholic next week. That won't be a pushover.
No.
They battled last year. Really highly contested game in the first half. Some things happened, and Parkersburg Catholic pulled away in the second half last year. Then they'll go into week 4 with a bye. That was, I believe.
That was the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, that was the Notre Dame game. Then they're going to play host on the 27th of September to Moorfield. Then on the 4th of October, they travel to Valley Wetzel. And then they host Ritchie County, Tigers Valley, go on the road to St. Mary's, host Sherman, and finish out the season with Tucker at Tucker. And so much more favorable schedule than was last year's. And they really do have a good opportunity of getting better as the season goes on. And I think there's been improvement since last week.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And Parkersburg Catholic next week is, they're a formidable opponent. They're good. I'm not going to take anything away. I'm not saying, it's going to be easy. But I do think it is a step down as far as the talent level that we're and the size and strength of the two teams we've played the first 2 weeks. It's not going to be the same. So I'm very interested. I think that's when next week we start to find out even more. Although I feel like we found out some really good things tonight from this Hawk football team.
Tanner Moore kicks it away. Into the hands of Haddix. He's up over the 25, takes a hit, gets up to about the 27-yard line. And that's where the Hawks will start with 3:26 to go, down 36-6. So a more favorable schedule should really play in South Harrison's favor. You know, again, get through this game injury-free. It looks like Coach Underwood has put some of the younger guys on the field and content to finish things out. And, you know, this is a positive. Get the younger guys on the field, gives them an opportunity to learn and to grow. Caden Davis hands it off to, I did not see who the runner was there. We'll get it to you. I want to say 41, Kyle Barnhart. He was hit in the backfield, loss of 2.
Good opportunity for the younger players, which it is a young team overall, but maybe develop a little bit of depth, maybe give someone a chance to to spark and show something. But if nothing else, it gives players that practice hard every day an opportunity to get on the field, and that's a good thing.
2nd down and 12. Davis hands it off again to Barnhart. I'm going to check that. That actually was number, well, it says, I thought it said 47, but I guess it is 41.
Yeah.
Barnhart. Gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 11. I formation. Davis gets the snap, hands it off again to Barnhart. Barnhart runs ahead, maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that will bring up a 4th down. Hawks are likely to punt it away. 1:48 to go. Thomas check out to punt it back to the Mountaineers.
So do you have a prediction, though? We talked a little bit about the Mountaineer football team.
Yeah,
you got a prediction?
Well, it's interesting you asked. I do. I'm going to say 35-28 Mountaineers.
35-28 Mountaineers. All right. Give me a second. I'll come up with something.
Gotcha. Thomas check punts it away. It takes a South Harrison roll down inside the Mountaineer 30 to the 29. And that's where they'll start this final drive of the football game.
I'm going to go with I'm so bad. I'm going to go with Missouri 20-10 in a boring / ugly football game.
If I'm honest, I don't really believe that either team's going to score a lot of points. 35-28 may be a little high, but I think the Mountaineers are going to find a way to win it.
I hope
Number
so.
one, I'm going to say this. I don't have a lot of confidence in Missouri's coach. He said some pretty dumb things, especially when referencing the Mountaineers. He talked about how experienced they were and all these different things. I mean, just clearly the wrong information.
Well, we'll see. I think we'll find out a good bit about the Mountaineer football team tomorrow. I'm going to stick with that prediction. We'll see.
Time tells. It always tells the story. Well, the Mountaineers bringing on some youth as well. Number 11, Nathan Ryan, in there for the Mountaineers. Tosses it back to number 22, and I do not have his name on the roster. Gets a first down, runs up over the 45. Under a minute to go.
It's always funny when younger players get in and they run the ball. You could tell where their mom is.
Right.
Because it was a really good run, but there was really loud cheer from one particular place. You could tell the mom very excited, and I would be as well. Nice run.
Victory formation for the Mountaineers. Snap back, takes a knee, and that'll do it. Last play of the football game. 36-6 will be the final here tonight as both teams make their way over to their sidelines. We will take a final timeout. When we come back, we'll pick a player of the game for both football teams. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Well, South Harrison drops to 0-2 on the year. We knew coming into this one it would be a tough one. They lose 36-6. Hopefully able to get back on the winning track next year. Well, next week, I should say. I'm jumping way ahead. And Parkersburg Catholic coming to Lost Creek to take on the Hawks. We'll see what happens. I think their toughest two games on the schedule they just played.
I agree, and it's going to be great to get a home game, first home game of the season. It's always an advantage to play there in Lost Creek at Gary Barnett Field. I think the score of this game doesn't really tell the story of the competitiveness of it. I think that it was much more competitive than the score would indicate. I think it's a great start for Liberty the first 2 weeks. I think South Harrison is showing some promise. They showed some things last week. They showed even more improvement this week, and good things ahead.
Well, we're going to pick a player of the game for both teams, and I'm going to let you pick Liberty's.
I want to go with McIntyre, the running back. I think it could have been any of the three running backs. You and I talked about it, though, and felt like we knew coming in that he was going to get the ball, and even though we keyed on him, he still did well, and it opened things up. So McIntyre, and he also made some nice plays on the defensive side. One particular play, he broke through and got McFadden for a loss on a big play. So McIntyre.
I'm going to go with Hunter Bunch on the South Harrison side. I think that he had a breakout game. I think you referenced that actually when we go back, we'll see what a beast he was in this contest. Not only did he show up on the defensive end, many times he was able to run down the ball carrier and save a touchdown, but he also hauled in a touchdown on the offensive end as well. I think big game for number 30, Hunter Bunch, and he's going to be this week's player of the game.
I agree, 100%. He's done a great job the first 2 weeks, definitely deserving tonight of the player of the game, and proud of him. Proud of this. I mean,
they are improving.
I know, the score is what it is, but I mean, we're looking for positives, and there are some. Yeah. They are improving. I think they're going to win some football games this year.
I agree. I think that they're only going to get better, and I think it's like I agree. I'll just leave it there instead of jumping all over what you said. I agree.
You should always agree.
Well, I don't know about
with
that.
Me.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what. I'll agree with everything you say when you conveniently remember that I never get a measurement wrong.
I just can't remember.
Well,
I'm sure that you do. If you say it, I believe you. I know you're wanting more. I'm sorry. I just can't give it to you.
So disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave the broadcast tonight very disappointed anyway. It's been a good night. Hawks are getting better. Hang in there. It would be our encouragement for the coaching staff and the players. And I think they're realistic, and they know that the schedule gets lighter after this, and they're only going to be better for these last two football games. So,
agree. I'm just listening to the song there.
You like that?
Can they see if they can pick it up out there? Like I thought about singing it.
Please don't.
you know how bad I want to sing that?
Please don't.
I'm not going. Well, no one will ever listen again.
Yeah, this is Hawk Nation. We want people to tune back in.
Yes, we do.
And
So I'm going to refrain.
well, thank you. Hawk Nation, not the voice. Anyway, so well, I guess that's it. The final here tonight, 36-6 for Danny Knight. I'm Tom Sears. This has been Hawk Nation. Have a great weekend, and God bless. Take care.